Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today I'm going to speak to you about this flash, the Jinbei HD1, and this trigger. The name is TRQ6II. Well, small disclaimer. When I presented the Westcott Flashes FJ80, FJ200, FJ400, many people commented that it was exactly the same as Jinbei. This video is not about this, about if it is or not, but still I will show you if they are compatible, and we'll see if I can cross trigger each flashes. Okay, so let's start. So what do you get in the box? Well, here you guys get an instruction manual in Chinese and English. Okay, then you get a charger and a USB cable, USB-C on one end. Okay, this is for charging the battery, and also for if you wanted to update the firmware. And then you get the flash itself. I forgot to show you, you also get a small foot if you want a small stand for the flash, if you want to put it on it. Okay, then you get in a pouch, you get the flash itself, and here the small pocket, so you can put here on the back here, you can put the stand. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. If we look at the trigger, you get also a bilingual manual, Chinese and English, but this trigger is different from the one that I have from Westcott. Jinbei have two models. They have one that looks exactly like this one, like the Westcott one, and this one that looks like an X2T by Godox. You have a hot shoe here for if you want to mount a flash on your camera, and different button, a small screen here. It's a bit different. Okay, I picked this one to have it a different look, and to see if it was cross compatible anyway. So let's look at the flash itself. This is the HD1, but they also have a model called HD2 Max. And as many people are probably wondering how it compares to the Westcott line, this one looks like, or similar, or I cannot confirm, but it's exactly the same as it looks as the FJ80 SE by Westcott, and the HD2 Max looks exactly as the FJ80 by Westcott. Okay, okay. So as I don't have the HD2 Max by Jinbei, I'm going to show you the difference using this Westcott one. Okay, so first, this one has a small screen, and you switch on with a switch like this, and that's it. Okay, and then you have button to manage the flash. The HD2 Max or the FJ80 by Westcott, you have to press here to switch on, then press here, and then you have a touchable screen. That looks a lot nicer for sure, but it's a lot slower to switch on, to start, all this. And then here you manage everything with touchable screen. Here you have to manage things with buttons. Okay, so is it better or less? I mean, this one, it starts a lot faster, but anyway, for me it's irrelevant the way I manage the flash, because anyway I do it via the trigger on my camera, so for me it's irrelevant. But if you're going to manage on the flash, touchscreen maybe it's easier, but takes more time to start, and button is maybe slower, but it starts on really faster. So yeah, okay. If we look at the other difference between the two system, the two model, here the battery is here on the front, same as on the HD2 Max by Jinbei, and here it is on the side. You have to press here, and the battery comes out. Okay, so it's different. Then something else. If we look at the Jinbei HD1 or the Westcott FJ80 SE, the modeling light is here on the front. Okay, I'm going to switch it on. 1 second. Here it is, it's here. So the problem is, if I want to, modeling light is useful to see where the direction of light and help you focusing all this, but it's not in the same axis. Okay, if we look at the model FJ80 by Westcott or the HD2 Max by Jinbei, the modeling light is exactly here, so it's actually no problem. It's in the same axis, so it goes exactly where it has to go. Okay, So these are the physical differences, okay? But I'm going to speak to you about the feature and which camera can work with that and all this. Many people probably ask why buy this and not a Godox V1, for example. Well, there's a reason. When you get a Godox V1, if you want to use it in manual mode, no problem. But if you want to use TTL or HSS, then you need a flash for the brand of your camera. If you use it on camera. If you use it out of camera, then you need a trigger that is compatible with your camera. This flash, this brand, all Jinbei flashes, all Westcott flashes, all Rolei flashes, because Rolei also makes the same flashes. I have an agreement. I don't know how it is, okay? You go into the menu, you pick your camera brand, and that's it. And that works. So it's compatible with Canon RT system, Nikon, Fujifilm, Panasonic, Olympus, Sony. Sony, you need a hot shoe adapter, okay? And maybe you think there's no Hasselblad, but Hasselblad is a Nikon flash system, so you put on Nikon and that's it. And that will work. It means if you have several cameras of different brands, or one day you change your camera for another brand, your flash is still compatible. When you don't have this system, the problem is that your flash will keep working in manual mode, but if you want TTL or HSS, all this, it will not work. In this situation, you just pick it. Some people will say, yeah, but with the Godox it's the same thing. I'll use out of camera and I've got different triggers depending on the brand of my camera. Well, this trigger is the same thing. You just pick the brand in the trigger and that's it, and that works. So that's the benefit of these flashes. It doesn't matter what brand of camera you have, they will work. The power is 80 watts second. But one thing that is really important, because many people make this mistake, they think that two flashes that have 80 watts second give exactly the same amount of light. That's not the way it works. When they give you a watt second for flash, it's like if they were speaking about the engine, okay? But doesn't mean two flashes of 80 watts second give the same amount of light if there are different flashes, different design, different brand, all this. Why this? Because it depends on the design, depends if you have some reflectant part in there, all this, okay? So what's important is not the power in watts second, but the amount of light that's coming out. And it's a guide number, and this one has a guide number 60. Well, not every brand calculate the same way. So I did not calculate again because the same as this one, the FJ80, and to make it simple for you, if you don't know what flash to buy, don't worry too much about this. This one is like any high quality flash, and you have enough light to have it on camera, off camera, in a softbox, all this for many type of work. So don't worry about the power of this flash, that's fine. For using it, I can tell you. You can adjust the power in, like here I've got 4.2, I've got 4.0, all this, or you can have in fraction, like full power, half power, 1/4, all this, okay? So you can pick the one you prefer in your in the menu. Actually, I use this one because the same as the FJ400 or this, but I could also use fraction, but I'm used to this, okay, so that's okay for me. It works in manual mode, obviously, also in TTL. This is why it's important to pick the same camera brand in the menu, so it will work. It can do freeze, so it makes a shorter lighting, so it freezes the action. It's also high synchronization, HSS. Honestly, I don't like it. Not on this flash, on any flash. Why? Because high sync flash makers never tell you the truth about it. But first, it reduces a lot of the power of the flash, so you realize that you don't have as much light coming out of it. And second, because it kills the condensers. So your flash life will be a lot shorter. Okay, so I prefer to have an ND filter on my lens to cut the ambient light and then put the power I need on the flash. That's a matter of taste, okay? But it's true, the ND filter will also cut everything, ambient and flash light, but it will not kill the condenser and will not reduce the life expectancy of your flash. It also synchronizes on first and second curtain. And if we speak about the battery life, 2500 milliwatts, and it gives you 500 flash at full power, lightning, okay? Is it a lot? Yes, it's a lot. Normally you don't use that kind of flash at full power, maybe outdoor with sunny situation, but usually no, okay? So it will take ages to empty it, okay? Normally I can use it a full day without any problem if I'm not on full power, obviously, okay? But that's fine, that's nice. If we look at this, you can orientate 90 degrees, top horizontal, and 360 degrees this way in total, so 360. So if you wanted to bounce lights, you can actually do it. You have here the modeling lights. When you switch it on, you have four possibilities, or five. One is off, okay, it's switched off. One is auto, it will adjust the level according to the amount of light of the power you've put on the flash. And then you have 3 level, full, a bit more, okay. The color temperature, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure, but it's always a bit warmer than the daylight. It's a bit maybe 4000 Kelvin, something like this. I'm not sure, okay. I don't have a way to measure it. When I switch it on, you heard this noise, as you can see. This is a zoom, okay. What is that zoom for? The zoom is to have a different narrow or widen the beam of light. What is that for? Well, let's say I make a picture with a 24mm lens and I've got a beam of light that is equivalent of 50mm. The light will not cover the whole scene, so part of my photo will not be lit, okay? So this is why you should pick. You have several options. One is automatic, so if your camera allows it, it will automatically communicate the focal length of the lens you have, okay? So it will actually put the right one here, or you can do it manually, pick the right focal length from 24 up to 200mm. I forgot to say this light, the modeling light, is 3 watt power. There are several ways of using this flash. You can use it as a master. It means it can control other flashes. And if you are like this, you have 6 groups, 31 channel, so I can control other flashes. That means that I have to put this flash on my camera, and not only I can get light out of this flash, but also control other flashes. Here I've switched on the Westcott. I'm going to press here. As you can see, both are lighting because this one is taking over the control of this one. This one you can also put it as a master, okay? That gives you a small idea about compatibility between both, okay? You can also put this one in slave mode. 2 types of slave. One is controlled by a trigger, and the other, so if I control by a trigger, I change the slave here, okay? I click here and you will see this button sometimes doesn't work too much, okay? Yeah, okay, because I don't press well. I don't like the test control on this one, okay? And so you see it works this way. And also slave mode, optical slave, it means if you have a flash that is not the same brand, not the same system, you can actually put it in a way that when it detects another lighting, this one will light also, okay? So you have it's completely controlled as a master or as a slave. One important thing, because many people ask me when I present a flash, they say, Eric, I like the flash, I've got a Godox trigger or a Yongwo trigger or whatever trigger, will it work together? The short and only answer is no, no, no. I always said flash have their own system for each brand. This one is an exception. Why? Well, probably they come out of the same plant in China. They are made in the same place and designed the same way because they're completely compatible, as you can see, okay? But otherwise, no. A Godox trigger will not work on this, and this trigger will not work on a Godox, okay? Or a Yongwo or whatever. So it's important to know that. If you have flashes of different brands that are not compatible, the only way to trigger another one is in a optical slave mode. When it detects the light of this one, the other one will work, okay? That's the only way, no other option. The head is magnetic. I don't have any accessories by Jinbei, but I've got the one by Westcott, and as you can see, they fit exactly the same. Color gel, okay? Okay, here I've got some grids here. Okay, they're completely compatible, as you can see on both flashes. It's exactly the same head size and same magnetic system. They work on both. Okay, so no problem. I think this is great to have these accessories. So I'm not going to show you all the buttons, all this, because well, if you buy it, you have the manual. Okay, and they all work the same way. If you check my video for this, although this is the screen and here the button, the features exactly the same. Okay, and the terms and all this. So let's check the trigger. This looks like a Godox XT2. Here you have the different button that correspond to the groups. Then you have a small wheel here to change power, all this. One thing I don't like about it is maybe it's this unit, but the test button sometimes it doesn't work at the first. It's just test, so it's not a problem. When you're on camera, it doesn't give you any problem. So as you can see, when I press here, sometimes I have to do several times before, yeah, as you can see, it works. Okay, so the following question is my Westcott trigger triggering this Jinbei flash? Well, let's see. As you can see, well, it didn't fill again. Okay, as you can see, it does. Okay, so yeah, it's compatible. Now let's see if my Jinbei trigger is going to be able to trigger the flash by Westcott. I remind you, this trigger is a bit problematic with the test button, but let's see. The button here, as you can see, it works. I'm going to put more power if I want. Okay, this one, the C1, as you can see, it works. So yes, they're completely compatible. So let's go to the conclusion. So conclusion, well, right now I can say they are completely compatible. I don't know if they will change anything that doesn't make them compatible, but right now at present time they are compatible. Okay, so is what's interesting, this one or this type, which would be the H2 Max by Jinbei or the FJ80 by Westcott. Okay, one big screen, small screen. Well, honestly, I don't know if the results are exactly the same, because the shape is a bit different, okay, of the head, okay, and this is a bit different, but basically I think this screen is nicer to use, but the startup is longer. Here the startup is quicker, but the buttons are more complicated to use. The menu, you have to go into the menus. Okay, so it's more or less your decision. So if we speak about prices, the HD1 costs 149 euros. The higher version, which is equivalent of this one, costs 249 euros. So it's 100 euros different. Would I pay for this difference? Honestly, seeing the result of this one, I would probably wouldn't. Why? Because I think for many use this is enough for me. Why? Because otherwise I use larger flashes. So yeah, like the FJ400 by Westcott. By the way, I also got this one, the HD400 Pro, which is the brother of the AG400. I will make some a review of it. I will test it, compare with the FJ400. Okay, I think they're exactly the same, but I don't know. Okay, so by the way, speaking about the same, one thing, I spoke to Westcott a long time ago. I spoke to Jinbei. I asked them, is this the same flashes, the same gear? And they both say, no, they're different. So it sounds like Westcott is having their flashes made according to their own specification. What does this mean? If I open this, well, not this one, but its brother, or the FJ400 and the HG400, will I find something different in there? Probably not. I don't think they would design different, but maybe the electronics has different level of quality. Same as fruit, electronics, they calibrate and they tell you for how long it is. So maybe a condenser, let's say this one is minimum 100,000 full charges, I don't know, for example, and this one is 50,000. They look the same, but the testing when they produce the product is confirmed that this one will live longer and this one shorter. There's no way I can tell you this. Even if I open it, I cannot know. No way, okay? Even if it looks the same, it may be different. So I cannot guarantee that these Westcott flashes and Jinbei flashes are actually exactly the same. I cannot guarantee them. I will not try to put firmware of one on the other one. I don't want to try because it will waive my guarantee anyway. And for me, it's pointless. As long as they work together, that's fine, okay? But although they look the same, although the HD400 and the FJ400 give me the same result, I will show you in a different video, I cannot guarantee they're actually the same. They may be different in the quality, the way they pick the component, and maybe the one has a longer life, okay? I'll come back to this in a second. So, would I buy this one or that one? That type or that type? Honestly, I would not buy an extra, would not pay for an extra €100 for a screen and things like this, because most of the time I use remotely. So for me, it's great to have this head, this power, all this. That's fine for me. If you really need to have the modeling light in the axis, yes, the other way. The other way is this one, you know, the one with the screen. Okay. If we speak about the trigger, I prefer this type. Well, Westcott has only this type, and Jinbei have this one and this one, this type. Okay. Difference is important. This one is a lot more comfortable to use, no doubt. This type, I prefer this one, but this one has a hot shoe, a small screen here, is still very usable. But what I love about this is that not only I can place a flash in there, because maybe I want to have a flash on my camera or on top of the trigger, so that's good. And sometimes it's not that I want a flash here, but I've had the thing with Godox X2T. I was shooting with Godox flashes and also some Yongnuo flashes, and they're not compatible. So what did I do? I placed my Yongnuo trigger in the hot shoe, and I could trigger all the flashes. So sometimes it's good to have this. It all depends on what you're doing, okay? But this one works. The test button is not too good, but I don't know if it's this unit of all the units, okay? So for me, no doubt, this product is completely recommendable. So if you want to buy this, you could buy Jinbei or you could buy his brother Westcott. What is better for you? Well, honestly, yes, the Westcott is more expensive. This one costs €149 and its brother at Westcott costs €186. That's more expensive. If I'm in Europe, I buy this from Jinbei Germany and that's it. I pay the transport and that's it. Tax are in there and that's it. When I check this one on Westcott, it cost me an extra €100 just because of transport and also taxes, import tax to Europe. So for me, it makes a lot more sense to buy Jinbei than Westcott. But it's not just that. If I've got a problem with this flash, actually Jinbei Germany is just a distributor, and I have to send it, and they will send it to China, or I have to send it back to China. Or if you buy it on Amazon, maybe you have to send back to Amazon or send back to China. So it may be complicated. Maybe it's a bit more risky. If I look at Westcott, I've called them once, and it's true. They are human that answer the phone. It's not a machine. And if you have any problem with the Westcott flashes, you can check on the internet, you can check on Facebook groups. Everybody said the same thing. I had a small problem, they fixed it, or they sent me a new unit. They get involved and they get in charge and they solve the problem. So if you buy an expensive flash or several flashes, then you realize that this small extra, sometimes for me it's 100, it's a lot more extra, but if you're already in the US or in Canada, it makes a lot more sense to buy Westcott because you're there. You won't have to you won't have to pay really expensive transport. You won't have to pay a lot more taxes as when it gets here into Europe. You will have to pay some local sales tax, but not as much as here. Okay, so yeah, probably if I was in the US, no doubt I would, or in Canada, I would no doubt prefer to buy the Westcott for the service and everything they have aside of the flash. Okay, being in Europe depends. Only you can decide, okay? Same thing, if you are in the US and you want to buy a Jinbei from China or from Germany, well, you will have the same problem as I have if I buy Westcott. So doesn't matter which one you buy. If we speak about this flash, it's fantastic, no doubt. It's recommendable, the quality is good, and doesn't matter what brand you pick, I'm sure you will be happy with it for what it's supposed to do. So on camera flash or in a softbox, things like this, they're really nice flashes, they work really well, and it's multi-brand. So for me, completely recommendable. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button down here and also a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, Gibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. I'll leave you links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmarc, and Flashes by Westcott. More affiliated links and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.